following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome back into the Wicked Weeds studio. It is the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. The Los Angeles Rams, through 2 weeks of the season, are 2-0. And they have a big game coming up this week with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the game of the week. It's the one game of the week that I am looking forward most to, not just because my team's in it, because these are two teams going up against each other that they have to be in your top three of all teams in the NFL. If either of these teams are not in your top three, to me, you're doing it wrong.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So far, Matt Stafford, been pretty damn good, right? The whole Jared Goff trade thing, I think that worked out fine in your favor.
It's working out so far, for sure.
I think it worked out fine in your favor. Looking at last week's game against the Indianapolis Colts, I'm still not quite sure what that was. I expected them to win big in that game.
It is hard to blow out teams on the road, especially teams that aren't bad. I'm not going to say the Colts are good. They're not bad. I feel like Vegas is overreacting to that. I really do. Implied value's really high on the Bucs this week. I don't agree with that. I just look at it like, you know what? You didn't run the ball particularly well. You weren't terrible, but you weren't great. Mm-hmm. Cooper Kupp had a ridiculous game. Mm-hmm. And you did exactly what I expected you to do. You kept them from being really good on the ground. They didn't throw the ball particularly well. And you eked out a win. That's what good teams do.
Yep.
On the road, you beat good to average teams about like that.
Mm-hmm. 27-24 was the final score, with the Rams winning by 3. The defense did allow Michael Pittman to have a big game. I mean, that's not like panic time.
Doesn't mean shit to me.
Right. Right. There's no real negatives to take away from the game. The only thing you can take away, I think, was, you might be a little concerned about Darrell Henderson's injury. But you got Sony Michel in there, who's going to be fine. He's going to be serviceable. That's not what you do anyway. You don't, you're not going to be leaning heavily on the ground game to be super successful for this team to win ball games.
I disagree. The Rams are a 50-50 split team, and they have been forever. Mm-hmm. Might be a little more skewed to the passing game, 54-46, but this is a team that runs more than people think it does.
Mm-hmm. They do run, but what I'm saying is, even if the running backs don't do well, I mean, like last week, they averaged, 3 yards a carry?
3.5.
Something like that?
But they still were keeping the offense on pace.
Sure.
3.5 yards is not good. You want it to be 4 or higher.
Right.
I get that, but it keeps the offense on pace. Keeps you out of bad down and distance. I think Sony Michel can do that, but it is worth monitoring how hurt Darrell Henderson actually is.
Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like Novocaine. You pound them for 3 yards, and then Matthew Stafford's going to hit Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods on a big one. It's a recipe for success, and it's a ticket to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I mean, we're going to see. Whichever one of these teams wins this game this week, between them and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to be in the driver's seat. Right.
You're the NFC favorite to have home field throughout the playoffs.
Yep.
The one thing I will say is that this is a Vegas anomaly.
How so?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a positive implied value to cover this number.
Okay.
The money on money line bets is heavily to the Rams. The money on cash spread tickets, heavily Tampa Bay. That's a weird combination of three things. That means there's a lot of people hedging that don't know exactly what's going to happen. That means the sharps are hedging this. They're taking LA in the money line. Mm-hmm. They're taking Tampa Bay against the number, and they're hoping they're right. They know they'll be right on one side or the other,
right?
Unless it's a one-point game. And then, no joy.
Which it very well could be. Both of these teams match up really, really well. Dynamic offenses with the greatest defenses in the league.
I will say this, at 55.5, I'll take the over aggressively. This is one that could be This could hit 80.
Right.
This could be first one to 45 wins.
Right. Now, all week long, I've been saying I think Robert Woods is the one that can do the damage against that Bucs defense. You agree? All right, that makes me feel better. I always have to lean on Jeremy when
I think you could see a lot of big plays in this game.
Yeah, when it comes time to pick the big superstar player, I always have to lean on the Ginger Ninja over here. But that's what I see. I don't think this is a Cooper Kupp game. I think this is. I
like Robert Woods
game.
this week. I like Van Jefferson a little bit this week. I kind of like Tyler Higbee this week, oddly enough. I could see them being scared of being beat over the top. You could see that drop back cover 3 from Todd Bowles, and I could see some underneath things.
Lots of room to work in the middle.
Hard for me to say that with Devin White patrolling the middle, but that is a possibility.
I'm not going to be taking too many tight ends against the Buccaneers linebackers.
What's your score projection for this game?
Score projection?
Well, he's taking the Bucs. Let me just I'll secret dump.
No, I'm not. I said all offseason long when we were doing our schedule previews, I fully expect to go in to lose this game. And I don't think it's going to be the outcome will be any more different than this past game, 27-24. It's going to be a field goal game. It'll probably come down to the last drive. Whoever's got the ball last, better hope to God it's not Tom Brady.
I'm going to take it 37-34.
37-34?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it's a field goal game. These two teams are even as hell. The fact it's in SoFi sways it for me. Give me the Rams. I'll take them to win this by 3.
Okay. Rams over the Buccaneers. If it happens, Rams fans, you're going to be in that driver's seat for the NFC representative in the Super Bowl.
If for nothing else,
and guess what? It's in your house.
If for nothing else, just enjoy the fact that you've got two teams that are in the top 4 of every power ranking on planet Earth.
No doubt. Going to be fun this week, week 3 of the NFL. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all of our team-by-team content here in the Sportsocracy throughout the season, and join us live every weekday morning at 10 a.m. in the Wicked Weed studio. We'll see you next time.